now we can go back to the back end, and we can take a look. And instead of including this layout, we're going to do, what's it called? Thou layout. And we've done our first actual change. Oh no! We have a slight problem here because we've saved it and now we've gotten rid of our theme name, you'll recall. So we need to go back to themes and we need to choose Thaumatic, and then we can and activate it. Remember, we changed it from thematic to Thaumatic, so it got a little confused. Now we'll go to the editor and make sure that that other change took. Thou layout, it did, which is great. Now we can take a look at the page and refresh it. And you'll see that the changes that we've made are now sticking as far as the page itself. Alright, there's a couple of other things I want to do here. I want to get rid of all of this. I'm going to replace it with my own in a minute here. But I just want to get rid of the menu that's created automatically. I also don't really need this tagline. I don't show it on my old one, and I don't think I need a tagline. For some history, this was actually the tagline for a long time, and now it's the title. So I don't really need a tagline. So how am I going to get rid of these? Well, that's easy. I just need to turn to CSS. First we have to figure out what those things are. This one is ID. If you look down here, it's ID blog description. So we know we want to hide that, the blog description. And then this one, let's see if we can get the outside of it. No, we'll have to. It's not that, it's not that, it's not the whole list. It's actually this whole class of menu. So we want to hide the class of menu and the ID of description. So we'll go blog description. So we'll go down here to the end of the main CSS file, and we'll select the class menu, and also we'll select the ID blog description, and we'll simply say display none. Update the file. We'll close this out and refresh. Cool. So we've gotten rid of a lot of cruft there. We have no menu. That's maybe a little bit of a problem. Actually, we have all that stuff here now in Pages. I moved it over as a widget. But we do, in our design, have a menu up here. We need to put a menu here. For now, I'm going to leave that off for a little bit until a later lesson, but I am going to see how we would do it. If we look at the main index template, there's a better way to do this using hooks, but we're not going to do it the better way. We're going to do it the Viking axe-wielding, battle axe-wielding way, which is to look at the main index template. We'll see that I'll take a moment here to talk about PHP. This is a PHP file. This is the first time we've seen this tag. This means PHP starting here, and this means PHP ending here. So this stuff these are comments where it goes // and then these are something or other with parentheses. Sometimes something's in the parentheses, but in many cases not, and a semicolon. This is actually a function. So it's saying get header and put it here. It's saying if you wanted to hook something in here, we could put something in the container and put it here. So this is PHP, and this is what makes up a template rather than a regular HTML file. This is the end of this part of the PHP, and then it gets back into HTML. We know what these things are, the beginning of divs. And then we start PHP again, and we have it doing programmatic stuff and throwing stuff in by the computer, kind of running small functions like throwing in the index loop and throwing in the navigation there. Okay. So we've got a bunch of stuff here, but I'm most interested in this piece, which is get header. What get header does is it gets the stuff out of header.php and puts it in there. So let's take a look at header.php. Once again, this is starting with PHP. It says put this stuff in there, put this stuff in the head, put this stuff in the head, put this stuff in the head. Then end the PHP. We're done with PHP for the moment, and then we're going to do HTML and just end the head. One HTML tag, and we're back into PHP. So we basically flip back and forth between PHP and HTML. Here's another PHP if statement, only showing things sometimes, and then we're out of PHP, and we're back into HTML only this far, And in fact, we're asking PHP, this part right here is all PHP, open PHP, close PHP. We can actually put it inside of tags. So we can put PHP anywhere we want. There's lots of PHP going on here. Here we start the PHP again, and it goes all the way to here. And then we're back into HTML for one line before we're back into PHP. Anyway, so we're going through this, and here we see the beginning of the div, the header for the div, and it does some stuff, and then there's the end of the header. We know that we're going to want the menu to be in that header section, so I'm just going to put something in here that says div, we'll call this thou menu, because this is the menu we're going to create for ourselves. And we'll just for now say put menu here so that we can see it on the screen. And we'll close out that div, and we'll go ahead and save this template. Okay, the file has been edited, and if I refresh, hopefully, we see that there's a little thing here. Now we still need to actually have something other than that text there, and we also want to style it so that it's not sitting out here on the far left. But you get the idea. We can kind of put things into the template that way. It's just a matter of kind of tracking down where we need to insert them. So that'll do it for now. In the next section, we're going to try to munge the text a little bit so it looks a little bit more like what we expect. And then from there, we will come back and revisit that menu and make it a working menu later on. All right, we'll see you then.